two characters who complement each other in the worst way possible: Flash, aka Barry Allen, and Reverse Flash, aka Eobard Thawne, are as entwined in the DC universe as Batman and Joker, or Superman and Lex Luthor, having hurt one another over and over throughout the years in Flash's solo series. These speedsters are not only the perfect rivals for one another, but when they eventually get down to engaging in blindingly fast fisticuffs, their battles rarely disappoint. But with very similar track records and feats, who deserves the title of the Universal Speedster? Let's find out. Now, Thawne uses something known as the negative speed force to draw power. As far as I can tell, the negative speed force affects everyone else, while the speed force affects the user, i.e. the speed force is what makes the Flash faster compared to everyone else, while the negative speed force makes everyone slower compared to Zoom, Hunter Zolomon. It's hard to grasp the full range of the Speed Force without acknowledging its negative counterpart. The negative Speed Force was introduced in DC's Rebirth and generated by Zoom. It eats at the Speed Force, consuming more of its power with every step Zoom runs, just as Barry's every step perpetuates the Speed Force. Since Black Flash accesses this energy as well, it's a good idea to read more about it if you are watching Season 3 of The Flash. The negative Speed Force doesn't just imbue its host with speed-related powers, it also gives that host the ability to disarm primary speedsters. It can negate their speed or remove specific speed-related powers. Zoom has also been known to use the negative speed force to absorb the memories of other speedsters. Finally, the energy stolen by the negative speed force can find a host and create new adversaries for the Flash and other speedsters. This step seems to be the final balancing between forces. Just as Barry and the Speed Force have called forth other speedsters in time of need, gifting them with its power, the negative Speed Force can do the same. One would think so, considering his power source is even called the negative Speed Force. But the negative Speed Force still grants speed powers. They just have some differences from those that use the positive Speed Force. The negative Speed Force naturally flows back in time. That's why the Reverse Flash is such a much better time traveler than any of the Flashes. Instead of a protective aura, he has a destructive aura. But no, the one that has power over being slow is the Turtle, and those that have the Still Force, the power that is the direct opposite and equal to the Speed Force. In my opinion, one of the most important and impressive feats of Eobard Thawne is him being able to replicate the accident that gave Barry Allen superhuman speed. Secondly, there's the feat of Thawne being smart enough to create his own version of the Speed Force. Because of Thawne's negative Speed Force, he always comes back. The reason for this is because the negative Speed Force exists outside of the timeline. Therefore, it, and everyone inside of it, are immune to changes in the timeline. This was confirmed in Flashpoint. An awesome speed feat accomplished by Eobard is just simply being faster than Barry. If you don't believe me, Barry admits it in The Flash, Volume 5, number 23. He also effortlessly avoided the Flash, telling Barry not to embarrass himself trying to catch him with the speed difference that exists between them. During his first theft, he manages to steal a piece of art before the radiation defense system could strike. He also outpaces the 25th century authorities while moving faster than an electron. Here are some feats of paradoxical existence. A strike of lightning transformed him back into his post-crisis self, returning his memories and negative speed force powers. This happened in The Flash, Volume 5, number 19. Another feat is when Thawne considers death irrelevant, due to his nature as a living paradox. He has no past or future unless he brings it back together. So, Thawne is a tough competitor, but by Season 8, we know that Barry can still run faster than him. So the question arises, how can the Flash be defeated if he moves so fast? Come at him head on, like in a chess match? He'll use his ability to learn at super speed to master whatever you're coming at him with. It's at an angle or bust. Flash is super fast, so coming at him playing fair is never going to work, unless maybe you're as fast as he is. But he is beaten by super planning over and over, but not head on. Whether you're making a path for him straight to your sword, building a computer that can predict where he will be and aims accordingly, or just shoot him from behind with a couple of crossbows the way they did in the first CW Arrow crossover, the themes are common. It doesn't matter how fast the Flash moves, if you know where he's going to end up. In Identity Crisis number 3, Deathstroke creates a series of explosions for Flash to dodge. He dodges right into the path of Deathstroke's waiting sword. How? Slade knew where Wally was going to end up, and presumably when, by timing the explosions. And that was that. Bonus, Slade also gave Wally a puzzle to solve. He just didn't like the solution. The Justice Buster armor from Batman number 35 works on a similar principle. Much of Bruce's investment is just a server that can aim a bullet, or rather Batarang, to hit the Flash. Batarang isn't faster than Barry, it just needs to be at the right place at the right time. Again, he doesn't come at Barry head on. Who knows what twists and turns are taken at light speed on the streets of Gotham. That's why he needs a supercomputer. Bat computer. So whether we're referring to the CW show or the comics, I'll just give answers for both. Both answers are surprisingly easy though, in my opinion. There is no definitive winner in the long run, and there never will be. Hear me out for a second. In the Flash CW series, it is evident that Barry has grown a lot stronger and faster since the first season. As shown in Season 5, Barry can now match Thawne's speed and gains the upper hand most of the time. I think it's safe to say that Barry will always win the battle, but not the war. The reason I say that is because one can never truly get rid of Eobard Thawne, no matter how many times he's killed. Thawne exists outside of the timeline, not Season 2 Eobard, who was just a time traveler. This is why he doesn't stay dead, and there's always a time remnant back in the timeline. He can't die, because the negative speed force, the source of his power, is immune to timeline changes. Simply put, he is a living paradox. That means that no matter how many times Barry gets rid of Eobard, he'll always be back. It's the same case with these two in the pages of the comic books. In Flashpoint, Eobard mentions that the version we meet is a living paradox. Now, I interpreted this as the one we see dying over and over being the paradox who can't die because he lives outside of time. He also mentions this in the DC Rebirth storyline known as the Button. So, I think after these scans, it's clear that no matter how many times Barry kills Thawne, he'll always be back. And no matter how many times Thawne comes back, he'll always be beaten by Barry. So there you are, guys. I hope this video offers some good insight. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to KRTV Marvel for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.